Please come in. Won't you sit down? If we could get the formalities out of the way. May I have your full name?
Adrian Wainwright.
Adrian Wainwright Millenship.
No, just Adrian Wainwright.
But your letter signed a Millenship.
I lied.
You lied about your name.
That's one of the reasons I'm here.
You have a problem with your identity.
Yes.
Adrian Wainwright. Address.
Buckingham Palace, London.
Now look.
I live in Chelsea, just off of King's Road. I live with my mother and father and one sister.
Yes, I remember.
I used a phony name in the letter because, well, I thought you'd never want to see me again.
You are correct in your assumption.
I came to apologize.
It took you 2 months to pluck up the courage, I suppose.
Well, I thought of writing to you, but in the end I realized these things must be done face to face. You didn't used to smoke.
Tell me about this apology.
What is there to tell? I'm sorry.
Sorry for what?
For winding you up?
I see. That's what you were doing.
Yes. Now I'm asking you to forgive me.
There's really no need. I can't believe you give a damn if I forgive you or not.
Well, I didn't come back only to apologize.
Well, whatever it is, be brief.
I came back because you wanted me to.
What do you mean?
Well, as I was leaving, you were saying, "Please, don't go, come back."
I find that highly unlikely. What are you doing?
I hold it up to my mouth, my lips gently curl over the end, and oh my God!
You recorded us?
Made it. Made what?
Get out of here!
The end of the session. Bye, Doc. Wait. Come back, don't go. Well, here I am.
I lied.
No. That's what Milton Boone would call a cry of anguish.
Please stop playing that thing.
You do remember saying it.
Yes.
What would you have done if I had come back?
I would probably have thrown this chair at you.
I find that highly unlikely.
I may well do it now if you don't leave this office.
Frankly, I expected a rather more mature reaction.
Come here, you waste my time inventing some stories I have no reason to disbelieve. And you tell me the whole thing was some feeble joke at my expense. And now you say you expected a more mature reaction. You're not just a fool, you're an arrogant fool.
You knew it was a joke when I left. Why did you want me to come back?
I didn't feel we had finished.
Your alarm went off.
Not governed by an alarm.
No? Then why did you insist that I stay till the end of the session?
I suppose I was curious to know why anyone would play such a mindless stunt.
Yet now, a couple of months on, you don't give a damn.
I had forgotten about you. I had assumed you were nothing more than a spoiled brat with time on his hands who took delight in playing childish games.
Is that what you think now?
Yes.
You have no interest at all in knowing why I wound you up?
You're obviously dying to tell me.
I wanted to know just how gullible you were.
Gullible?
Yes.
And you found out.
Oh, yes.
I suppose it made you feel good.
Oh, I felt justified.
Justified? About what?
About thinking that your profession is nothing more than a cynical way to make money. A cruel trick played upon the weak and the insecure.
That old one.
Everybody loves talking about themselves. It's everybody's favorite topic. You and your kind pulled off an amazing coup. You actually got people to pay to do it. It's like getting them to pay you to breathe. You just sit there and pretend to listen. On your own accord, you don't cure them of anything. In fact, you discourage any idea that that's what you're here to do.
You proved it.
When you told me my mother was the reason for my impotence, I said that you were absolutely right. That I felt my sexual powers returning almost at once. Do you remember what your reaction was?
I remember.
You were horrified. Leave after 10 minutes thinking you were cured? How preposterous. So you went banging on about sexual intimidation. About being a closet homosexual, about smell? You cleared the pool in double quick time, and then you took a stick and stirred the mud to avoid making me believe that I was cured. Saying that you weren't a garage, your job wasn't to produce snap results. No, it isn't. Your job is to make sure the punters come back and pay another 50 quid. There's a smugness in your work designed to make you leave your office at night feeling good. All those wackos, all those weird problems people have. Thank God I'm normal. Doctor, you say you're here for the sake of your clients. It's the other way around. The poor sods who trip in here every day only serve to keep you sane.
Am I to understand you were telling lies from the moment you came in here?
Before, actually.
Before?
My name really isn't Adrian Wainwright.
Really?
But it'll do for now.
Your father doesn't work for MI6.
He's an accountant.
The depressed mother, the impotence, the demanding girlfriend.
Oh, it's true what I said about figs. I've always found them sexy.
You went to all this trouble, inventing all these stories, merely to show that my profession is a fraud.
Yes.
What a pathetic little fucker you are.
Oh, I resent the pathetic and the little. Fucker? Yes, I was never impotent.
I wouldn't be surprised if you were recording this as well. My guess would be you're a tabloid journalist or a student working on a piece called something like Up Yours, Mr. Freud.
I'm not working for anyone or anything.
Now why bother?
To prove my point.
You haven't proved anything. You had a point of view before you came here, and all you've done is select a few things to reinforce it. You have the mind of a bigot.
You could have disproved it.
How?
I told you. When I said that my mother was the reason for my impotence, when I wanted to leave to test it, you should have said, "Oh, that's a good idea. I hope it works. It'll be £50. Bye-bye."
That isn't the way psychiatry operates.
When I have a sore throat and I go to the doctor, he prescribes me some medicine. He says if it doesn't work, to come back and try something else. Why can't you do that?
Medical diagnosis is much simpler than psychiatric. Your sore throat is visible. When someone comes in here with a mental block of some sort, it doesn't show.
Wrong! The answer is the doctor's a GP. He doesn't get paid. It's in and out and on to the next.
You made up your mind we're only here for the money.
Well, you still haven't answered the big one, Doc. Why didn't you want me to leave after I said I was cured?
I didn't believe you were.
Why didn't you want me to put it to the test?
As you told it, your case was interesting.
You mean it had everything? Espionage, mother love, a hint of homosexuality. I tried to include everything. Perhaps I should have arrived in a dress.
I wanted you to stay because I was intrigued.
Oh, so curing the patient is secondary to stimulating your interest. Is that it?
I don't cure.
Male impotence fascinates women, doesn't it?
I can't speak for all women.
For you, then.
Fascination is hardly the word.
What is the word?
It's of interest, certainly.
Because if you take sexual powers away from a man, he no longer fits the stereotype. Did one of the sisterhood once say that all men are rapists?
He might have. Stupidity is not the prerogative of my sex.
Well, male impotence is in your image of a male human being.
Nonsense! That is like saying a woman who cannot conceive does not regard herself as female.
Fertile women say it all the time. Well, at least the ones who describe themselves in newspapers do.
They're wrong.
Why? Because you say so.
If you like, if they think that, then it is the job of psychiatry to change their minds.
You've never had a woman come to you and tell you she does not feel a whole person because she cannot bear children.
Yes.
And did you cure them?
I don't cure.
I know.
I think I help them come to terms with themselves.
You think?
They stop coming after a while.
Well, when I go to a laundry and they keep wrecking my clothes, I stop going too. What I do is I find another laundry.
True. They may well have found another analyst. I don't claim 100% success rate.
You don't claim any success rate. No cure, no success.
Your definition, not mine. When you spoke of loving the cinema, With a passion, I think you said. Was that a lie as well?
Yes.
I can understand you making up a bizarre sexual problem for me to trip over, but to lie about something as trivial as the cinema.
Let me explain to you about improvising.
About lying, you mean?
Just shut up for a minute. You said when I was here last that I would talk and you would listen. Yeah. Where was I? Improvising is a matter of building on whatever the other person says. You asked me if I liked the cinema, I said yes. Actually, I hardly ever go.
You could have said no.
Improvising is a matter of keep talking. Where do you go from no? End of conversation.
Finished? You call that improvising. I call it lying.
All right.
And your tragedy is you don't know the difference.
Tragedy? For someone so precise on the meaning of words, Doctor, isn't that a little strong?
Not at all. For instance, you're abroad. It's pouring with rain, and I telephone you and ask what the weather's like. You'd explain in the most lyrical terms how it's 100 in the shades and the birds are dropping from the trees. If it was sunny, you give a poetic account of a monsoon, correct?
Perhaps.
Why? Why would you do that?
Well, I guess lying is easier than telling the truth.
And why do you think that is?
I suppose I really don't know.
You don't tell the truth because you're unable to describe what you actually see or what you really think. For instance, describe this desk.
The desk.
Anything that comes into your head.
It's made of wood. Got drawers on either side. Scratch on top.
You really made that come alive.
What is there to say about a bloody desk?
This classic piece of craftsmanship dates from 1778. It has survived countless moves over 200 years. How many famous elbows have rested on the top? How many wise or foolish, kind or cruel words have been spoken across it? Perhaps Jane Austen wrote Pride and Prejudice here. Or Darwin, his Origin of Species. Or maybe Jack the Ripper conceived his bloody mania in that chair. Was it there that Haig planned the battles of the First War that wipes out a generation? Did Churchill's fingers grasp the edge when he heard about Dunkirk? How many secrets have been absorbed in its mellow surface? How many tears of grief have fallen on its grain? We shall never know. She might have said something like that. Except, of course, you wouldn't have. You'd have said, Jane Austen did right here. Jack the Ripper did own it. And Churchill did use it. I can use my imagination without lying. You can't. That's the tragedy. Lies only affect the person telling them. When you tell me your father works for the Secret Service, I'm not impressed, but you are. Soon you've woven a fantasy world around yourself. Soon you're unable to escape from it. Soon you go mad.
And soon I kill myself.
No, soon you come to people like me.
You think I'm mad?
As the proverbial hatter.
And I only came for help.
You're begging for it. Every fiber of your being is in panic. Your grasp on reality is slipping by the day. You can't even remember your real name. Soon you come to believe that you are impotent. Your father is a spy, and your mother is depressed when you aren't at home. You fingers will scrabble to regain a hold, but inch by inch they will slide away from the ledge. Who was Anna? Does she really exist? Do we really make love in the cinema? Did I once like to eat figs, or was it bananas? Did I once dream I went to a psychiatrist? Did she tell me my mother was to blame for something? Or did I really go? And why? Then your mind dissolves like burning paper, and you fall into that dark abyss where all thought is drowned in one eternal, primal scream. Made it.
What? Made what?
The end of the session. Goodbye.
Wait, please! Don't go! Come back!